Global Village. Welcome to Beer for Breakfast, Oot and a Boot at Interstellar Rodeo. They call me Bruce, Amanda's on the camera, and we got Lyle from the Wet Secrets with us backstage. Yeah. They just finished another wicked performance, Lyle. Always a pleasure. We met at Breakout West a few years ago. Always a great party. And let's start with the look, because there's a number of important components to your look. Let's start with the obvious, the marching band. It was happenstance that you came upon the uniforms, and we'll get into the music in a second, but sure. Tell us about how you developed that look.
Well, this was a little bit of serendipity. When we started the band, we wanted something kind of pompous and regal, not just wearing street clothes, and our drummer, Trevor Anderson, who was actually in the Red Deer Royals, he got a call that they were getting rid of their old outfits, and we happened to be there, and we got them for basically nothing, and they ended up giving us about 25 of them, complete sets. So we have spares at home, and we've actually done shows where there's like 20 people on stage all wearing these things. So it was sort of one of these things where you don't think you're going to be a grown adult still getting on stage wearing an outrageous outfit, but it's here we are 10 years later, we're still rocking these outfits. So.
But that's not even a balancing act, that's like a whole juggling act. Where does a fad begin? The look, is it part of our style? Is it a distraction? Yada yada yada, all that sort of business acumen, sort of white noise.
To me, it's actually a filter. It's a beautiful filter that filters out people that are kind of judgmental and need to vet you before they'll get into you. You know, I don't know. There's lots of people that just kind of jump right in and are into the whole thing, and there's other people that the costumes turn off. So I don't know. To me, it's a kind of a hilarious filter. It's like the tastemaker filter to some degree.
Do you ever have moments where you go, yeah, not today, and then you have to do it because you do it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's now part of the band DNA, so I never mind the getting up on stage and wearing them. You can almost like slipping into a persona as well. But there's been a couple other things that we end up getting asked to do. One thing is, I mean, we're sort of a punk band at heart. You know, when we started this thing, it was just sort of super sloppy punk rock. It's morphed a little bit from that, but to me, I think some people see that it's like these crazy circusy outfits, and so we get lumped in, asked to do these things, or play with bands that are maybe not appropriate. I don't know. Not that that's a bad thing. I don't know. I'm not a hater. I'm a music lover, so I never really mind.
That's the eye candy part of it, but I mean, it also is very appropriate given the wonderfully percussive nature of the music. It fits the look.
Yeah,
Tell us about the development of the sound.
Well, I guess to me, first of all, there's no guitar in the Wet Secrets, so I'm a ball hog bass player, so I sort of eat that sonic territory, and sort of do things so that I'm covering for a bass to some degree. So when we were adding stuff, I really wanted to add things that were more sort of Afrobeat, so timbales, instead of adding a guitar player, which might be an obvious thing to do, we added timbale and saxophone, more keyboards, more percussion. This sort of beefed that side of things up. So, and then it sort of evolved into what it is now, and I don't even quite know what that is. So
fun. It's fun.
I mean, this band is predicated on fun. If it's not fun for the audience or the band, it would cease to be, probably. So yeah,
it is a party. Every show I've ever been to, and everybody I know that's ever been to a show, we agree, it's a party. It just doesn't stop. And one of the things that really intrigue us intrigued us about you was your love of vintage video games. It's a great pick on Facebook with the Double Dragon. But forget about Double Dragon, because you're rocking the Atari 2600.
Yep.
Asteroids tease. Tell us about the love of the vintage video games. I mean,
Well,
you make us swoon.
I'm actually old. I'm an old man. I'm the old man in the band, so I was massively into console video games when I was a kid. And I've actually bought this shirt 3 times. Just finding it at vintage stores, and I found a different version with like the actual 2600 graphics on it. Not that I was ever good at Asteroids. It was impossible. It's like Ghosts and Goblins, the most impossible game ever.
Oh.
But I still loved it. So yeah, I don't know. I have a fondness for old video games and old cameras and old Canadian amplifiers. So yeah, stuck in the 80s maybe and 70s.
The 80s were awesome, unless you had a house and you wanted a 19% mortgage rate. Lyle, the Wet Secrets, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
This has been Beer for Breakfast, Oot and a Boot at Interstellar Rodeo. Until we meet again, be good, have fun, stay motivated.